now getting further details of how the brutal assault on Ajith has been caught on camera. In fact, in the video, you can clearly see how Ajith was beaten up brutally by the cops in police custody with lathis that were battered on Ajith while he was in the custody of the cops, being questioned by them on the theft. The cops passed it off as epilepsy death. But now that brutal proof that has been caught on camera. Remember, we have been told that 5 cops have been arrested in connection to this matter, but that is not enough because this just speaks of police brutality that led to the death of Ajith, where his family raises questions as to why the police went on to beat him up and what had happened. Just see that on camera, those visuals on your screens right now of how lathis are being charged at him one after the other, and in sensitive parts that he was beaten up brutally, that eventually led to his unfortunate, untimely death. Remember CCTV footage just before this when he had walked into the police station where he was absolutely fine, and his family has asked as to why was he beaten up so much, and most importantly, when he was brought out by men in plain clothes and then he was let off. But he could not walk. He was bleeding profusely. Let me cut across to Pramod Madhav, joining us with further details on this Sivaganga custodial death that has now raised several questions against the cops and the brutality that was hurled against this man Ajith. Pramod, we stay with these pictures, one lathi after the other that is being blown on this man that led to his death. 5 arrests so far, but this is not enough.
It absolutely is not enough. As you might know, the visuals that have come up are very dangerous and very shocking the way the policemen have behaved over there. In fact, yesterday we got access of the FIR report where they started saying that the accused Ajith Kumar attempted to run away. He slipped, he fell down. Once again, he was brought back and under question, he was questioned. And then he tripped and he fell away once again. And that's when he had an epileptic seizure, which led to his death.
I'm having to interrupt you here, but Mr. Kovai Satyan is joining us on the phone line. And I'd like to quickly get his word from, I beg your pardon, sir. We stay with these pictures, CCTV footage that has revealed police brutality against Ajith that may have led to the loss of his life. Your response?
Yeah, this video proves the point that whatever allegations being made against this murder is true. A person who is accused by somebody, there were no FIRs. He was summoned. The person doesn't even know to drive a car. There were severe lapses in the entire way this event unfolded. The police brutality is not the first of its kind. This is the 25th such incident. And this is a murder. It's a cold-blooded murder. And all measures are being taken by this incompetent DMK government to cover this issue. And whatever questions the judiciary, the High Court has asked, they don't have no answers. Is he a terrorist for you to use such brutality? On what basis do you summon him for an inquiry? Was there an FIR in place at first? Why he was taken from one place to another place? Why people who doesn't belong to that respective police station were made to held an inquiry? Who initiated it? There were no answers from this government. All they say is we have suspended them and we have initiated an inquiry. And this is the 25th such murder, custodial murder, since DMK came to power. This shows how one person can take law into their own hands. The law protectors take law into their own hands and goes all means and ways out to defend themselves by covering up this entire issue. 18 wound marks are there, the postmortem report says. There are marks around his neck. And what else more, this government needs to give an answer, responsible answer to the people. Where is the transparency? And where is the justice for he and his family members? Incompetence of the highest standard is what this turns out to be, the entire episode. The case we have filed has been disturbed today. We have sought for an CBI inquiry. So we'll wait for the outcome from the judiciary.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Mr. Satyan, I want to thank you for joining us on the broadcast right now as the police in Tamil Nadu, the Stalin government has serious questions to answer, and most importantly, the country is watching to the kind of action that is now taken to set a precedent to avoid such killings in the future. Let me take you through this video in detail. This incident that has been caught on camera, on CCTV camera. And remember, the Tamil Nadu cops that tried everything possible to be able to shield what had actually happened, to be able to pass the buck, to be able to save their lives such that the truth does not go out. But it is right here. The truth is on your screens right now. You see how Ajith was beaten up with lathis. Two of these cops, and this video that is being made from probably a wall outside of which Ajith was being beaten, and somebody was capturing this video on his mobile phone. But you see how Ajith is being beaten. Remember, 30 to 40 injuries that the reports state, and that too in critical parts, that he was hit brutally. The man could not even walk out. He was bleeding profusely. His family has questioned that when he walked into the police station, he was absolutely normal. Then why is it that he was beaten so brutally that this is what his condition became? But this is that clincher video that now puts out the entire truth of what must have happened in those critical hours when he was actually taken by the cops to be questioned. Instead, he was beaten brutally. But why? Because he had been brought in for questioning. Let me bring in Vinod Selvam from the BJP, who's with us on the phone line. Mr. Selvam, this clincher evidence that is on our screens right now of how Ajith was brutally beaten up.
Well, the visuals which have been coming in from Tirupavaram are rather horrifying. Horrifying visuals of police brutality being exposed. And, this is not the first custodial death which has happened in Tamil Nadu. In fact, they've hit a silver jubilee. It's the 25th death which has happened. It is rather unfortunate that justice is being served in custody in police stations. DMK, which came to power as the, they claim that they're the beacons of social justice, and they're going to be delivering and changing the entire system, have in fact completely corrupted the entire judiciary and the police system, and what has been happening is totally unacceptable. Even worse is the fact that all the celebrities and cinema stars who were so prominent and active during the ADMK rule, who were coming out and voicing out for the death of Felix and a father and son in Toothukudi, none of them have even opened their mouth. In fact, the mainstream media, the regional channels have not even picked this news up as much as what it is supposed to be happening. The police, which directly comes under the control of the chief minister, has not opened his mouth about this incident. No DMK person or the alliance partners, the Congress, VCK, no one has even come out and condemned the government for this act which has happened. It is very unfortunate. Our heart goes out to the family. And, he was even denied water when he was begging for water. This man was beaten to death. Imagine the trauma he must have gone through, the trauma Ajith must have gone through. And today the state president of BJP Tamil Nadu, Mr. Naina Nagendran, has written to the Human Rights Commission to so more to take up this matter and to find out the truth and who they were trying to shield in this incident, in this episode of Ajith Kumar being beaten to death in custody.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And, Mr. Selvam, some reports suggest that a high-level meeting has also taken place where MK Stalin has vowed the strictest action against those who are responsible. And while we wait and watch how that translates on the ground, but fact is that this man was trying to help that woman, and it was allegations of theft. It was not like somebody's life was at stake. Why was Ajith beaten up so brutally? Just because the police officers in power could exercise that on an innocent man, and even if he wasn't an innocent, all levels of humanity were crossed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In several instances where heinous acts of rape and gang rape have been witnessed in the state, and brutal murders of elderly people, especially in the western part of the state, in Namakkal and Coimbatore, have happened. Brutal murders have happened. Even during those times, the victims weren't treated this badly. In fact, there have been videos of several youngsters who were picked up for a gang rape, giggling and laughing in the police station, and they were left scot-free. People have been arrested for peddling cocaine, and they have not been subject to treatment. But an allegation of a theft which has not even been proven, and this Ajith Kumar, a youngster who deserved to live, has today lost his life. It is absolutely unacceptable. It is horrendous, watching the visuals. I'm watching them right now on screen, and seriously, the heart goes out to the family which is watching it. I don't know how they're going to be taking it. And the CM statements cannot even be taken seriously, because if they had to be taken seriously, this should have stopped with the first custodial death. This is, again, I'm reiterating, it is the 25th custodial death which is happening after DMK came to power the last 4 years. And it is very scary that we have one more year of DMK rule to go. And today, a BJP functionary who had tweeted about radical Islamic terrorism in the Pahalgam attack has been picked up by 20 policemen early in the morning. A young boy, a 26-year-old boy, has been picked up from the Namakkal district today morning by 20 policemen. And we are scared for his life at this point. We are scared of his life at this point after Ajith Kumar's murder, custodial death. We are scared of what could be happening to our Karyakartas who have been speaking the truth, not even, against the government, but for speaking the truth, he has been picked up. So police brutality has gone beyond acceptable levels, and I think the CM should really wake up and see the reality around him rather than living in his own dreamland, dream world, and listening to his people around him, his coterie. He has to come out and actually understand the reality of what is happening.
Mr. Selvam, I want to thank you for speaking to India Today this afternoon as we continue to stay with that clincher CCTV footage that India Today has accessed that puts out the reality of what had happened, what led to Ajith's death, allegedly beaten up, and now it is on CCTV. Lathis being blown at this man, one after the other, no break at all. He was not given water. And most importantly, how due process was also not followed. In fact, I want to take this point from my colleague Pramod, who continues to stay with us and has been talking to his sources in the Tamil Nadu police to what had happened. Some details we're also breaking on our screens, Pramod, of whether the police had resorted to a lot more than lathis, using chili powder to torture Ajith and beating him up in sensitive parts, not giving him water when he asked for water. And all this for what? Because they clearly thought they could brush this under the carpet. They didn't even file a proper FIR. Due process was completely negated, pushed to the side, and they just brought him in the name of questioning, beat him up black and blue, such that it led to his life, and then let him go.
Swisha, one thing is very clear. Since this came up for since we broke this case yesterday, we've been very clearly mentioning what has happened. In fact, even before getting all this detail, we've been very carefully saying that such an issue has occurred in the state. No matter how much they tried to cover it up, so we were actually giving the information on it. This is why we said that the FIR was not out, the autopsy report was not out. The same question was put out by the Madras High Court Madras bench, where the judges asked why was the autopsy report not given to the magistrate immediately, because that's the particular report that will actually give the information about what exactly happened to Ajith Kumar. In fact, we also got information about the 18 injuries part by part, from his ears to all the way to his legs. We categorically gave the information on that also. Thanks to the people on the ground we gave the information, and right now we also have the video where you could see Ajith Kumar being attacked. This is definitely illegal. Police are not allowed to do that, and the same questions are being put forward by the Madras High Court Madras bench, who's asking under whose authority this investigation was initiated, who gave the authority for the special team to go ahead and investigate the matter, why the investigation began even before an FIR could be filed over this particular theft case. All these are critical questions Tamil Nadu police have to answer, and even the court has sought reply from the DGP on this issue.
Pramod, I want to thank you for getting us those latest details of